Before we start this video, I just want to say RIP to Austin Metcalf. It's crazy that another young life was taken from us, regardless of who was in the right and who was in the wrong. I just want to say RIP to him. But roll the tape.
The 17-year-old accused of fatally stabbing a Texas student athlete during a track meet allegedly admitted to the crime. Now, he also asked officers if his actions could be considered self-defense. That is according to a newly released arrest report. On Wednesday morning, 17-year-old Austin Metcalf, a junior at Memorial High School in Frisco, Texas, was killed at a track meet. Police said a student from Centennial High School in Frisco, 17-year-old Karmelo Anthony, stabbed Metcalf in the chest during a fight. Anthony was arrested, now charged with first-degree murder, and is being held in the Collin County Jail on a $1 million bond. Our Fox 4 Dallas team has been covering all of the information here. Alex Boyer has the latest.
In that 7-page arrest warrant affidavit, several witnesses, including Metcalf's twin brother, describe how that deadly encounter went down. It also revealed that the suspect reportedly admitted to a Frisco police officer that he stabbed Metcalf.
My son is gone, and I don't really have words. I've tried to figure out what I was going to say, but he's just going to be so missed.
The pain is still raw for the Metcalf family after 17-year-old Austin Metcalf was killed on Wednesday morning at a UIL District 11-5A track meet in Frisco.
That dude was extremely smart, always in the box. He just came to him real easy, and just him playing football as well just made him just a great person overall.
Here's what happened according to witnesses and the police report. Metcalf got into an argument with the suspect, 17-year-old Karmelo Anthony, over a seating dispute in the bleachers. Metcalf told Anthony he needed to move from under the team's tent.
He always was one to step up and be the person that would do the right thing. And he was doing the right thing by saying to this gentleman that you're not supposed to be in this tent. This is because they have personal items there.
Anthony opened his bag and reached inside and said to Metcalf, "Touch me and see what happens." Metcalf reportedly grabbed Anthony and told him to move.
He knew he wasn't supposed to be there. He was just a tragedy what happened.
That's when Anthony pulled out a black knife and stabbed Metcalf in the chest once before running away.
So y'all saw with the tape, y'all saw what's going on. Let's just get straight into it. You saw the whites here trying to act like my boy Karmelo Anthony was the perpetrator when indeed he was the victim. So I'm gonna break down what actually happened to Karmelo Anthony and to Austin Metcalf right now, so you guys understand what exactly is going on and why what's happening is pretty fucking weird. So let's go ahead and get straight into it. So first of all, this happened at a track meet, and well, really right outside of Frisco, Texas, right outside of Dallas, Texas. So what's going on is apparently Austin Metcalf and his twin brother are football players. Austin Metcalf was the MVP. He had a couple D2 offers, and then they went to a track meet that was 30 miles outside of Dallas, Texas, I believe. So when they went to this track meet that was 30 miles outside of Dallas or Frisco, Texas, what the first thing they did was go to their school's tent, because you know at all these track meets, the school has a tent. All the players, all the athletes sit at the same tent. They try to interact with each other, stay together because they're a team. So Austin and his twin brother went up to this tent, and that's when they saw Karmelo Anthony. When they walked up on Karmelo Anthony, of course, Karmelo Anthony does not go to their school. I believe he goes to a rival school. So when they walked up on the tent, apparently the situation that I'm reading and hearing about is that Austin Metcalf and his twin brother pressed Karmelo Anthony, told him basically, you have to move around, you can't be here, you don't go to school here. Maybe they just didn't like him. They told him that he couldn't be there anymore. What Austin Metcalf did from there, after Karmelo Anthony told him, hell no, I'm not moving. I don't have to move. You don't own this. This isn't reserved seats. Like, I can be here and not be a part of school. He decided to not only grab his bag, break his phone, but punch him. In this order actually is what happened. He punched him, grabbed his phone, and smashed it on the goddamn bleachers behind him. And then he grabbed his bag and tried to take his stuff. From there, a brawl ensued. And as you can see, there are two of them. They are twins, Austin Metcalf and his brother. So when we have two twins, and I forgot to mention that they are play football and they are linebackers. They are good linebackers at that. So they have to be 200 plus pounds. So if I got two 200 plus pound guys trying to jump me and whoop my ass for something that I didn't even do, I wasn't in the wrong, I didn't do anything wrong, and then they try to whoop me and then try to jump me and make me look like the bad guy, yes, he had a chance to defend himself. And from there, that's when the stabbing occurred, and that's when Austin Metcalf lost his life and bled out in his twin brother's arms, because after he tried to jump him, after Austin Metcalf tried to jump him with his brother, Karmelo Anthony pulled out the knife, stabbed him, let him bleed out. And from there, that's where the whole situation that we have now is occurring. And honestly, speaking my mind on the situation after explaining it and thinking about it while I'm talking about it, I'm gonna be 100% real with you. I don't feel wrong about this. Like, I don't feel like he did anything wrong. I feel like it was self-defense. Was it a little overkill? Just a little bit? Yes, it was a little overkill. But at the end of the day, what are we really gonna do? You came here and started a problem with a guy that didn't have any problems with you, and now you expect sympathy. Now you want remorse. That's not how life works. You don't get sympathy and remorse after you try to harm somebody, beat them, bully them, and do all these crazy activities when they didn't do anything to you. You don't get any remorse for that. So I don't feel bad for Austin Metcalf in the sense that he got consequences for his actions. I do feel bad for him in the sense that he's no longer here. If he stabbed him and then he just happened to live, I would be talking a lot of shit right now. But he's no longer here with us, so I refuse to disrespect the dead. But I do feel like Austin Metcalf brought this upon himself because all he had to do was play it cool and not be a complete asshole, and none of this would have happened. Now, I don't know if they had prior beef or they had prior involvement with each other. Apparently from the post his mother made on Facebook, he does not, which I will get into in a second. But before I get into that, I also want to speak on how people on the social media internet are trying to paint Austin Metcalf as some type of innocent boy that did nothing wrong, and Karmelo Anthony as a evil demon just because Karmelo Anthony is black and Austin Metcalf is white. When after I just told you the story, you can clearly tell that Karmelo Anthony did nothing wrong. So all these right-wing grifters are trying to come on social media and use this as a talking point to divide the already fragile United States of America populace into two sections. Either you're on the white side or on the black side, but it's not literally that black and white, no pun intended. So I don't understand why they're going on the internet trying to do this, especially when the facts are coming out there, and they're already turning against the father of Austin Metcalf because the father of Austin Metcalf says this was not racial and he doesn't condone what his son did. But you know, these people are going to say that he should stand behind his son no matter if he was wrong or right. But I respect his father for coming out and saying my son was in the wrong. He should not have done that. I respect the father for having the balls, the huevos, the cojones to come out and say that. But now, since I've spoken about how they're trying to push this fake narrative that Austin Metcalf is his saint and Karmelo Anthony is his horrible devil, we can get into the actual facts of the situation. But I did find this on Facebook, so shout out to Google for allowing me to find this. I'm going to read it verbatim what it says right now, and you can read along with me. The truth about Karmelo, let's set the record straight. Enough with the misinformation, let's talk about facts. 1, it's normal for students from different schools to gather under another school's tent. Karmelo had friends there. He wasn't trespassing or looking for trouble. This is actually very factual. I ran track all of my life. It is very, very common for other people to come under your school's tent and talk to them. Now, if you're going to kick it with them the whole track meet, probably not. But it's cool for you to come under the tent and talk with them, associate with them. This is a sporting event, but it's also a social event at the same time. If you know, you know about track meets. Number 2, the claim that one of the twins had never seen Karmelo Anthony before, a blatant lie. This had to be a blatant lie because why else would you come approach him of all people and then try to press them? If I come to a tent and I see someone I don't know, that's the last person I'm going to interact with or tell them to move. I'm going to interact with people I do know. So I'm not going to come to a random So I'm not going to come to a school's tent, see the one guy I don't know, and then get on that with him and try to bully him. You knew him previously and you just don't want to admit that. Number 3, no student has the right to remove another student from a school-owned tent. The school owns the tent, not the twins. This is 100% true. The only person that can ever come to your tent and say that you have to move around would have to be the coach of that track team or the coach of that track. But at the same time, they still cannot force you to move. They can only tell you and they can try to get you to move, but they can't put their hands on you to force you to move. So they definitely did not have the right to come over there and put their hands on Karmelo and then try to play the victim afterward. Number 4, Karmelo is a track athlete. The twins are not. He wasn't even expecting them to be there. So this makes the situation 20 times worse because Karmelo was minding his business at a track meet doing track activities. These football players drove 30 miles out of their way to come to this track meet just to start BS, to start problems, and then one of them lost their life because of the problems that they started. That also puts Austin Metcalf deeply, deeply, deeply in the wrong. But even since you came to support, you should not have been starting any problems at all. Now we're going to read the rest of the post. Now here's what they don't want you to know. The twins didn't just ask him to leave, they tried to jump him, which I just talked about. Before attacking him, they tried to take his belongings, broke his phone, and stumped on it, which I just talked about. The twins are known bullies, which I was not aware of, but makes sense that you come to your school's tent and immediately try to bully and harass someone. So ask yourself, if two 200-pound attackers came at your child, what would you expect them to do? They keep posting a picture of him with an airsoft gun, not even a real firearm, to manipulate the public perception. Why? Because they want to paint him as a criminal instead of a victim. victim, let's talk about who Karmelo really is. A respectful, mannered young man, a 4.0 student with multiple college offers, a kid with zero criminal history, not even a blemish, a son raised in a loving home by parents who taught him the right from wrong. What's also tragic is the way the media is twisting this story to fit their own agenda, which is 120% tragic because this man did nothing wrong. It's crazy how they try to paint Karmelo Anthony with a airsoft gun as a thug, but you have pictures of Austin Metcalf with a real gun, but he's not a thug. But they don't want to post those pictures because it doesn't fit their agenda, especially someone who has a 4.0 average, which is very hard to achieve, and multiple college offers, and has zero criminal history. And I understand that we have just seen a Joker come out of Philly. The Joker, I forgot his actual name, and to be the reason that Gilly the Kid's son is no longer here, but that is a one in a lifetime thing. That's not really something that goes on a lot. There's not a lot of people that are in the streets living double lives, catching bodies, and then also inside of school getting 4.0s and getting full rides to college for sports. This is not that case. I believe that Austin Metcalf was a bully. I believe Austin Metcalf came there to start problems, and I believe he found the problems that he wanted, and I believe that Karmelo Anthony ended those problems. Do I agree with the killing? No, but I cannot get mad at someone for defending themselves. If someone came to my son and did the same things, and I found out that he was able to unfortunately stab them and they died because of that, I would not feel bad, and I would support my son 110% through the process. So let's all give our support for Karmelo Anthony, but also say some prayers for Austin Metcalf, because even if you are a bully, that doesn't mean you deserve to die. But you can't also come around bullying people and expect nothing to happen to you. So there is wrong on both sides, but there is more wrong on Austin Metcalf's side, and Karmelo Anthony did take extreme measures. But at the end of the day, when you're getting jumped by two people, and who knows what else was going on, someone else was trying to jump in, if anyone else was helping him, if it turned into a bigger brawl. I was not there. There's not video of this. There's only eyewitness testimonies, and I believe that Karmelo Anthony should be freed. Please free this innocent man. He did no wrong, and please pray for Austin Metcalf.